There you go. I don't expect too many people to actually come in here and make the time or effort to come in, but whatever. It's Sunday night. It's going to be recorded, so we'll be on YouTube. So, if you happen to leave, you can catch the rest of this. We'll keep it 1 hour or less. It's just to see where we're at, where we're going. We'll look at the token first, followed by the futures, followed by the NFTs. After we're done just explaining the token, where we're at, why this affects the price going up, the more Bertha gets, things like that. We'll just have questions for each one if anybody has any. I get 100 DMs a day about this project, but I guess that's why I get them. If the people that are DMing me don't actually show up in here, then they'll continue to DM me. But hopefully everybody catches the YouTube video after I post it. But again, it'll be less than an hour long. Where I stand right now in the project, I was telling SK Crypto today, don't really tell too many people what I have, just because I really don't want anybody to know. But with Elephant.money, it's my top holding now outside of a stable coin. So, I mean, it's pretty much like a stable coin, but I'm talking about like a XRP or a Bitcoin. This is currently, my most money invested is into this project now. Between the, I haven't got the NFTs. I'm not going to say I've got NFTs yet. I've tried to catch a couple on the marketplace, missed out on those, just because when they come on the marketplace for 1.8, it is a good deal. And I think they sell within 5-10 seconds. I'll tell everybody what I have anyways. I've got about 140 billion elephant tokens, and I'm right around $80,000 in futures on 3 wallets. I'll be working on the 4th. They all have about 20 to 25 grand, 27 grand in each. I don't really have a goal, but I think I'm going to build the futures to at least 200,000. And then we'll talk about that once we get to the futures, but that's where I stand right now. I'm about $135,000 US in. That's why I'm doing these as well, just because the more people that I can show, the better it helps myself out with that kind of money invested. It is quite a nice chunk of money. I don't really want to, I'm not afraid of losing it in this project, but I also want to protect it and bring more people in. Obviously I want to make more than less. So we got the chart up. SK will take it off. Let's just talk about the token. And, again, I guess we got to stress out why when Bertha gets more tokens, that's going to actually, at some point the price has to increase. I know we're right around 400 million, but at some point the elephant's going to take off like Bitcoin's going to take off, like the elephant token itself. It's just going to be forced to take off just because of the way it's designed. So I'll let you take it away. And then after you're done, we'll spend about 15, 20 minutes on this or whatever it takes. Then we'll take elephant token questions. Then we'll move over to the futures and then go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Mr. Crypto Kingdom, thank you for having me here yet again, my friend. And it's always a pleasure to catch up with you. And thank you for sharing what your position is. Some people don't like to do that, but we can clearly see that you are in it to win it. Having anything, we usually tell the new people like 10 to 100 billion token is like a really good starting point if you can land that. But man, to even be anywhere beyond that, you are a believer. And I think you see the tokenomics. And so hopefully this AMA between you and I, and maybe BT shows up, but this will be, some reinforcement for even you and how you understand it. If you have questions, I am here for it. And for whatever reason, I can't get this page to load. But yeah, I do like what you just said about, comparing this to like an early Bitcoin. Now, this chart on my screen right now is not labeled, but the purple line is elephant and the green line is actually Bitcoin. This was the first 2.5 years of Bitcoin. Okay. And look at how similarly we are actually tracking. Some people want to hem and haw and get all scared with the recent sell event, but really redistribution, that happens on all successful tokens, right? But when it comes to elephant, you've had 3 separate 900% plus run-ins and waves of price appreciation before a pullback. We've done 3 of those so far. What's the 4th and 5th one going to be, and the 6th and the 10th, right? It just keeps going up, but we are tracking very similarly to Bitcoin's early years. So people should really, hopefully, let that sink in and understand that elephant money is not going anywhere. That's why you get charts that look, as incredible as this. And we had the recent double top and the psychological barrier of reaching all-time high again, right? And that's why people, some of the earliest whales decided to sell, but hey, that's fine. All you did was create room for other people. But more importantly than this elephant versus US dollar chart is the elephant versus BNB's performance, okay? This is really the chart you should be looking at. Because when you look at the first time elephant ever went parabolic, okay, that was back when BNB was $435 per coin, and that is when the protocol only held 65,000 BNB coin. Now we hold nearly 100,000 BNB coins, and BNB price is 50% smaller, right? It's only a $208 BNB price today. So when you look at the graph in terms of that, this protocol having reached a US dollar all-time high double top, we're still leaps and bounds ahead of where we were strength-wise, position-wise in BNB coin than the first parabolic run-up. So the strength of this protocol is just enormous. So there's a little bit of that. I think if we look at the treasuries right now, we'll see that Bertha is at 181.4 trillion tokens, okay? And just as always said before, Bertha is that friendly whale who doesn't dump on you. So while anybody might be, freaking out about the chart and, oh my gosh, the whales are dumping, guess who didn't dump? Bertha. And guess who got bigger at the same time? Bertha, right? I think she was about 175 trillion at the time. She's now over 181. And fun fact, even at the first parabolic run-up way a year and a half ago, she had 212 trillion tokens in her, right? So we're not even at the same size she was before. This protocol is still not of strength to handle, little redistribution events like that. So the whole goal with everything at Elephant is to have more asset value than liabilities and having token dominance with Bertha. And she grows. Every time there's volatility on the chart, she grows. Every time people deposit into futures, she grows. Every time somebody mints an NFT. Everything is aimed at buybacks for Elephant token, which then gets stuffed into Bertha, increasing her token dominance. So in future years, you won't see crazy shakeups like that, and you will still continue to get an overall upward trend when you look at this token, okay? You can just zoom all the way out. It's not a number only go up token, but it is a damn trend line overall go up token, okay? That's how it is by design. So Mr. Crypto Kingdom, I think that's a good little introduction for the token and some of the recent events. What would you like to talk about now, sir?
Let's talk about, I think people are forgetting the fact too that, like you said, the BNB price, of course, I'm used to it like 400 or whatever it was. We believe the all-time high, the new all-time high is going to be higher. How does because I don't even know the answer, so I'm going to ask you because I just haven't spent time figuring it out. How do we figure out, just with the BNB, let's just say the market cap's at 400 million and BNB's at 215 for one BNB. We're paired with BNB. BNB goes to 4 or 500. How does that just in itself affect the market cap or the price of Elephant?
Let me see if I can't pull up another chart. So, I mean, the closest thing we have to any predictive model would be, how many Elephant tokens are resting in the LPs. Right now, and if I could get these stats to load, I don't know why this page does not like me today, but I think that the lock liquidity is sitting around 70 or $75 million across the two LPs. And when we, factor in that we know who is holding all of these Elephant tokens, right? We've got the graveyard on the right half of the pie chart. You've got the participants here in green, and then you've got Bertha growing here in blue, right? And then these LPs being what's available on the market, this is where people are going to exchange their funds. When they have BUSD or BNB, they come to that marketplace, Pancake Swap, and they exchange their, coins that they have for the Elephant token in return. And as we shrink these LPs, right, and capture all of that value, we're dropping the amount of Elephant token held by the actual LPs. And when we have that, well, we get a nice trajectory here. Like, look, so Elephant token into LPs on this first column, I think at the moment we have what? Right here. Oh, 98. We have 98.4 trillion tokens in the LPs. And in the last 7 days, we have dropped that number by 4 trillion. Okay. This has been on a roller coaster, obviously, the last 3 weeks, but it's been up and down. But this is generally the trajectory that you see as people use the protocol. The LP tokens go down while Bertha goes up. Now, if we're at 98.4 trillion tokens, and then we look back at this chart, we're somewhere in this neighborhood right here. Okay. And we're right here at 38 cents per million and 42 cents per million, aka 380 million market cap and 420 million market cap. We're right in that zone, once again, based on an assumed BNB price of 215, right? So the more that we drop these LPs, the higher in price per million that we can predictably follow on this chart, right? This also factors in BNB price, and we can update this number from EMH Bailey. But generally, this is the trend line that we want to form. So if we get all the way down to only 65 trillion tokens in the LPs, we'll be at a $900 million market cap. So that's generally how it goes. And remember that these LPs are getting soaked out of the LPs every time people are buying it, such as me and you, right? There's just a 10% in and out fee collected on the transaction of the token. But really, more importantly, why Bertha grows so quickly is because of the activity that's happening with futures. Okay, futures and NFTs are really the catalyst of this this huge growth that we've seen this year. And it started with futures back at late January, and then kicked in into higher gear with July's launch of the NFTs. But remember, 90% of all activity coming into futures, 90% of those dollars are buybacks for Bertha. And what is a buyback for Bertha? It is the purchase of Elephant token specifically to go into Bertha, right? And then with the NFTs, 100% of all incoming funds that mints an NFT, 100% of that goes to buybacks for Bertha. So that's why you get this linear growth in yellow of her token count. And that's why her LP size keeps going, Bertha size keeps going up while the LPs are shrinking. And when the LPs shrink on a scarce token, you get that parabolic move upward with the price valuation of those tokens. So hopefully that was a roundabout way of answering your question there, Mr. Crypto Kingdom.
Yep, fantastic. Yeah, that's I just think a lot of people forget the fact, when you're paired with a certain token these days, everybody's about a third or a fourth, or some cases 5x, depending on what chain you're on, down from, the all-time high. So that in itself is going to help the price, regardless of anything else. So,
yeah,
you got all the anyway.
And don't discount. Don't forget that we're also the number 2. We interchange between number 2 and 3 holder of BNB on chain, right? As a protocol, and we're about to enter a bull run at some point, before mid 2024 or maybe around then. Anyway, but even despite all the FUD happening, if Bitcoin goes on a run in this bull run, BNB follows along with it. Ethereum follows along with it. It paves the way for what's about to happen. And because we are the number 2 or number 3 interchangeable holder of BNB as a protocol, that means we're going to get spring loaded up. And we're already doing numbers in a bear market on our own accord, outperforming BNB. So you imagine when BNB spring loads us up with it, oh man, you're talking for an epic climb. Hopefully, non-financial advice.
Yeah, exactly. But you're right. Sometimes it is financial advice. I don't care if people take it as it is or if it's not. It's just common sense advice, I call it. That's why I'm holding on to the token kind of equally the same as the futures. So while I'm waiting for the token to go up, I have a lot of money in the futures and I'm going to keep putting money in the futures. It gives you a nice little side income as you're waiting and you don't have to look at the market cap every day. So whether it takes a year for it to get to wherever we think it's going to go, 2 years, 5 years, I'm in for the long haul. But in the meantime, hey, you're collecting on your futures. So that's why it's good to have a little bit of everything here. Of course, we usually target the first three because that's what everybody wanted to stick with, even though there is a lot more things to this project than the top three things here. But no, this is good.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions just regarding the token itself, what we think it's going to go to, or any questions about how anything works? Just put your hand up, or just in general.
Yeah, don't be shy, folks. Don't be shy.
So much easier just to type. It's so much easier just to type to me. I get like 100 a day, and then none of those particular people ever come in. So, which it's like it's too much for me unless I leave everybody a voice message. It's easier for me just to come in here, regardless if there's 5 people or I used to get 250 people in the bull market in an AMA. I just started at 5 minutes advance because there's that many more people online. The thing is, it's just easier to make the video. Spend an hour in here, put it on YouTube. It would take all day just to individualize each question in a voice message, even if I was a minute answer, So.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely ask questions if you have any about futures. What's really cool is, I'm going to show this one graphic of a portfolio allocation for people to really chew on. But, you could, if you just want to be a degen and go for the aggressive growth, you could just buy 100% all in Elephant token. But you need to be prepared to weather that volatile storm. It is going to go up and down, right, over time, just like Bitcoin did. Okay, where when you're a top player in the game, you are gonna have ups and downs, but overall, it go up, right? You're gonna zig and you're gonna zag, but we are still gonna go up overall. Now, if you can't weather that storm and you want to diversify your portfolio with an elephant, then go with futures and NFTs in addition to your elephant token. So this is just talking about futures, but you can do a 25% of your bag. If you're coming in with $10,000 and you want to put 2,500 of it into the elephant token, go ahead. And then the other 75% can go into futures. And then you can compound that once a month or once a week, whatever fits your $200 schedule. Or you can go 50-50, or you can go opposite. You can go heavier into elephant token, 75%, and less into futures. But people need to come into this protocol with risk capital and a plan, right? That's the key thing. It's a plan. So many folks want to just get tied up and just buy the token and think that this protocol is only a token when it's not. The token is the back office product. The front office products are your NFTs, are your futures. Those are the income generators, the yield that's the product being sold at this Elephant Money business. And even when you get shakeups on a chart like what we saw recently, right? The people in the know, they held. I held. I didn't sell anything. I'd be dumb to do that. I've already survived the worst that this protocol's ever been through, the Black Swan event. And this isn't that. This is far from it. But you know what? I've just been beefing up my futures in the meantime, and so have a lot of people. When you look at this chart on the left hand, you can see that the daily deposits of futures, there is no panic on this. The deposits didn't stop. If actually anything, they grew. You had more people come into futures depositing funds than even the launch week. And what does that tell you? And then when you look at the red underneath, this is the daily withdrawals. During that time of the token looking a little choppy, you didn't see any increase in withdrawals happening on futures, did you? You didn't. It's the opposite, because futures has already proven to be solvent. It's already a business model that works, and it's still sustainable on top of Bertha, right? So if anyone ever wanted to come to Dune Analytics, I know that Crypto Kingdom, you've been looking at these a lot recently, and I think that's why you've doubled down on your bag, because you see the magic that's happening here. but you can just hover your tooltip over any of these days. Look at this one. Daily deposit was $103,000 this day, but withdrawals was only 19,000. Okay. Here's another day. Daily deposit 93,000 in, only 13,000 out. So no matter how you slice it, this futures program is amazing to a lot of people who like that steady cash flow in a bear market of all times, right? But it's still beyond solvent. You can even come down and click off some of these right here. But when you look at the futures TVL, okay, right here, the debt owed out of futures altogether is $21 million. But it's sitting on top of a Treasury Bertha value of $72 million. That means right now in its current state, 9 months into futures existing, there's enough money in Bertha to pay out all futures TVL multiple times over, right? And we're still young in this protocol. Imagine a year from today, because of the exponential growth that overall happens on the trend for Elephant token, but Bertha's value is going to be, 20 times over the futures debt one day. That's all coming. That's how it's engineered to be, right? We just need to be educated on how we play this overall ecosystem. So, and then lastly, this right chart, daily liabilities versus the Elephant Treasury growth. In the blue, you have your daily liabilities that do go up in futures, but as a percentage, this yellow line, that daily liability percentage versus the Elephant Treasury, this is the trend line we want to see where it's overall going down, okay? And the value of the Elephant Treasury can get shaken a little bit, and so we reverse trend here, but this will go back down. That's how it's engineered to do. We just need to continue doing our each one, teach one, and educating the people who are in to not panic sell, for one, right? Like BT, he's the one that built this car. We're responsible for driving it, right? This community will only carry this project as far as they want to take it. And you do have several diamond hand educated participants in this protocol. We just need to do better and spread that knowledge even more. But yeah, futures overall is very, very healthy. And I'll even show you my bag right here, but I'm approaching 50,000 right now. And I'm earning 0.5% a day on that. And that's just perpetual cash flow that I can use on a 3-to-1 schedule. I can let this build up for 1 week, claim out, and then let it build up for 3 weeks, compound it back in. And you just keep doing that. All the meanwhile, Bertha's keeping this completely solvent. And, there's a lot of people that are using this too. And Elephant Treasury Bertha is the one who loves this the most. She uses this BUSD Treasury right here to DCA her elephant bag. So, yeah, I know Crypto Kingdom. Any questions specific that you have for futures? I know you've been loving the contract overall, but anything specific you got?
No, I just like the fact that whoever's controlling that Dune website is, you can go on that Dune regardless of knowing how to look at a graph or not. I just go right down to the top wallets or wallet analysis, I think it is. Look at the top wallets. I like the fact that when you scroll over, not only does it show you what people have, their balance, it shows you what people are going to make per day. So it gives you an idea if you're sitting at $5,000 or $3,000. Hey, if you can't just do simple math in your head, just look at a guy with $106,000 balance and see what he's making per day. Now, further down the road, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of do like a 50-50 thing. Like if I ever hit, maybe I'll never hit the max that I want in there, because as long as the TVL is growing, there's no panic here at all, because somebody can't just sell the whole TVL in one day. I honestly believe the TVL, just based on how many users we have in futures, which is still a very, very small number. There's been shitty miners out there with 50,000 plus users. We're like 20x smaller than that. So I think we're going to hit $1 billion in that before it ever even starts to even come close to balancing off. That's my prediction, just based on how many users there are, like 2,700 people in the futures right now. I'm just going off the top of my head last time I looked. That's not a lot of people to have. Let's just say back in October when we did the first AMA here, we've gone up probably $2.5-3 million in the TVL. We were around 18.5, 19 million. Now we're 21.53. I mean, that's just short of, that's only 3 weeks. And regardless of, people are excited, the market is recovering. The market's not recovered until Bitcoin's like, 50 grand plus. The market's showing that it's trying to recover, but we're still in a bear market here. I don't care what anybody says, it's a bear market because of the world situation. I mean, nothing outside of this market's helping us. All this world crap going on, that like, nothing's helping us. Nothing's on our side, and we're still growing that TVL. I think Friday, I memorized the whole thing. Like Friday, I think was plus 186,000 going into the TVL. I mean, that's a lot of money, almost 200K it went up. And I think people forget that that TVL cannot be cleaned out in one day. If everybody sells, they can't sell, you know? So what I'm going to do is, let's just say I was going to stop at 200K. Let's just say 200K was the magic number. And I said, okay, that's it. I'm just going to keep it right around 200K. And how you would do that is you would compound week 1, claim week 2, compound week 3, and claim week 4. You'd be 50-50. You'd be putting in $200 times 2 in a month. Your TVL would still be above 200 grand. And now you got a nice little $15,000 a month income, which is probably more than the general public makes, as an average income. I mean, So, I mean, you could go buy a coffee shop, a restaurant, whatever, with the amount of headache you have, and you're going to have to invest a hell of a lot more than 200 grand offline. Sure, they're like nice little get out of the house jobs, but the futures allows you just to sit back, spend a minute a day on it, 2 minutes a day, and you don't have to worry about logging in, and that market cap compared to a regular token has gone down. Not that the Elephant token is going to do that, but most of the time when you own as many tokens as me, you got to watch those market caps every day, every second almost, because you just don't know, especially in this market. I like the fact that I don't really have to do anything. I expect the TVL based on common math to go up every day. I don't expect it to go down. Just because it's the way it's designed. It's not so much that, anything other than the fact that the way he built it is smarter than a traditional miner that you don't have to put new cash into to keep this thing going. And at 2,600 users, we're not even 100th of the way to the maximum yet, user-wise. So I assume that if there's 5,300 users, that TVL is automatically going to be at 42, 43, 45 million, just from the users doubling. And then with the referral system, not too many miners had a good referral system, and they die out quick because once a traditional miner, like we've seen in the past, they do well for like 6 months. But then when people get on the collecting thing, side of things where they say, okay, that's it, now I'm going to collect, that TVL drops $1 million a day, but there'll never be a panic. That's what I like about it. And so do the other people that follow me for 3-4 years who put in, 50 grand to start, and the futures, 40 grand to start. Like I've had some pretty good buys coming through from the channel, like into the futures. They didn't just start with 5 grand. They started with like 50 grand because these people have money offline and they want to see instant results. You put 100 grand into futures, you're automatically going to start seeing $3,500 a week. And like I said, if you're just happy with the 100 grand and you say, hey, I got 100 grand right now, I'm tired of these stupid meme coins, losing money, they go up, I lose it in another one. You stick your 100 grand in here, you could take 7,000 out a month and it's not even going to affect your TVL. Your TVL, based on my numbers and charts, will still go up every month. Your second month you do that, you're going to make more than the $3,500 a week. Not a lot more, but still $7,000 a month USD. That's a pretty good income on 100 that's still there for you to take. You don't have to worry about losing your 100 because the TVL is just going to keep increasing at least by 100 every day. So that's why I particularly like the futures. It's like a separate thing. I don't have to babysit as much as a traditional token with a market cap. So I don't even know where I'm at on that kind of like graph where it's like aggressive. I'm definitely not all elephant because I have the futures too. Dollar for dollar, I have more in futures than I do in elephant. But that's because I was in a position to still buy 130 billion or whatever I have elephant. So it's not like I'm shortchanged myself on the token itself. I just have the money to be able to afford to go heavy in both. But I think moving forward for me, if you're able to put the money in futures, go ahead. Because if you're just looking for something where you can take a nice income out, you could actually live on this income in most places. Once you get to 6 figures, like I think you're halfway there yourself, at 50K or whatever it was.
Yeah.
you can see what's going to happen when you're at 100K. I mean, most people don't make 7,000-8,000 working for somebody in a month, you know.
Right.
So unless
they really
unless
don't.
you're lucky and you have your own business, I mean, you're going to be, you know, this is an income. This is a true income in crypto, where the miners were an income, but I knew the miner was going to end at some point when I started into a miner. It was more pyramid than, you know, because it wasn't designed to, it was never designed to go forever unless more money was always going in, as like, more people had to keep coming in, like a traditional pyramid. I mean, that's the only way a miner goes. But once it reverses, you're screwed. This really can't reverse to that magnitude based on the 200 days, the TVL value of 21.5. By the time we do another AMA before Christmas, let's say, that thing's probably going to be in the 25 to 27 million range. Just if we just continue the way we are. Nothing crazy, just business as usual, 100 grand to 200 grand a day. It's just common sense. It's going to go up 2.5, 3 million a month. So that's, like I said, it's going to be in the 25 to 27 million range. It's not really a guess. It's just, that's what's going to happen. For sure it's going to. Because like I said, it's the way it's designed more than anything. And don't be afraid to put money in the futures. I mean, you don't have to worry about it. I think a lot of people are really, really still confused about it. Like, it's a simple accounting system. If you want to claim, it comes out of your TVL. That's why I said you could do a 50-50. Once you get your TVL to where you want it, let's say it was 50 grand like you have, you could compound. It doesn't even have to be a week. You could do this every day. If you got the $200 to put in, you can keep collecting and claiming, because once you're claiming way more than 200, to put the $200 in to move it over to the TVL is peanuts then, because you'll be getting 3,500 a week. So that's the thing. It's great considering it's $200 because it just keeps building and building up people. Then they can see a greater number. And I think it's actually smarter to have the $200. I know there's been some questions. Hey, you should lower that. No, you're just going to, I mean, if you don't have the money, it sucks, but you're just going to have to wait till you get the $200. You're not losing in the meantime. You're just not moving it over as fast. But I think this attracts bigger and healthier sized balances or wallets, whatever you want to call in this situation, TVLs for each individual person. Because if you go through the dune, you can clearly see that there's people on there that have compounded actually more than what they've put in. There's a few down there that you could look at under wallet analysis where, holy crap, you look and go, the guy's balance is 186, but he's compounded, let's say, more than the half, like 96. So you can definitely see that this works. Like, they've already made back more than what they've put in, and now they're making on the 186K. There's some people on there, 1,500 a day, 1,800 a day, obviously on the first one or two pages, yeah. But, you know, I didn't even notice that, to be honest with everybody off the bat. I just looked at in and out. I never noticed it. It was kind of cool, even though I could do it in my head, that there was a little column there that tells you what the daily amount is going to be, like what you're going to make on that balance, which was real nice. Like I said, if you're new to a chart, forget if you're not good at looking at graphs, just go straight to the numbers. I mean, most people should be able to figure that out. And that's what I like about futures. I mean, you can pull, you know, if you just run out of money, that's perfectly fine. Just, you're making good return on your money. You just happen to be making more money if you put more money in. That's all. But it's the same payout regardless of what you got in there. I think a lot of people are a little bit confused about it. I mean, but that's it. I mean, it's pretty simple. You either claim or you add more money to it. If you claim, it's coming out of your TVL. However, if you compound once and then claim once, your TVL never gets hit. So for the balance. So you can expect, you know, like I said, if you pull the plug at 100K, you're going to get $7,000 a month if you do it twice, and you're still going to be over 100 grand. So what's wrong with $7,000 a month US? I mean, you can live in most places pretty comfortably on that. I know there's some crazy places where I've lived before where you couldn't, depending on how big your mortgage is. But then, you know, not everybody wants to live in a crazy major city anymore. Get away from people is probably your best bet. So the way things are going. But yeah. So anyways, like, a lot of people are going to work. Point is, a lot of people are working 40, 50 hours a week for that. You can build this up and you don't even have to have 100 grand. Like, you can work your way to 100 grand. And I wouldn't worry about panicking, because based on the users that we have here, like I said, I think there's been some shitty miners out there with 100,000 users, I think it was. I could be right, 200,000. I can't remember what the number is, but we're so far, like we're so new. That's what I'm trying to say. Like we're so new into the futures. The whole project, we're new, but I mean, we're so early into the futures, and you can see just from the amount of users there are, 2,700 people in the crypto space is nothing. Like Shiba Inu's got 1.5 million holders. I mean, just figure that. Like, think about how many people don't even know we exist yet. That's 99.99% of the people in crypto don't.
Exactly, man. We are so underground. It's unreal. And here's a little snippet on screen from community member. Shout out to Mike Dre. But, just looking at, this contract is over 235 days old, futures. And average on a daily basis, you're looking at $50,000 to $60,000 on a daily basis. That's coming into futures, right? And remember, 90% of that is going into buybacks on the Elephant token for Bertha. The healthier Bertha gets, the more we all win. But look, there's even over 30 days where some deposit days were over 100,000. There's even 2 deposit days where it was greater than 200,000, and then we have a 1 day where all deposits were greater than $400,000, and that was insane. Actually, I have an image of that right here, and yeah, man, that was wild to see that when we were above 500K right here, and that was just buying 2.5 trillion tokens for Bertha right there. Now, in addition to all of that, you also have this other write-up from Mike Dre, but that BUSD buffer pool. A lot of people kind of forget about the importance of that buffer pool right here. But this, 90% of everything goes into buybacks for the token for Bertha. But that other 10% comes over here to the BUSD buffer pool. This just handles out the little piddly claims, right? When someone wants to take out $500 or $2,000, whatever it is, if it's less than 1% the size of this buffer pool, it just comes right out of the buffer pool. Anything above 1%, if somebody try to wait and save up, 20,000 and they try to take that all out in one go, well, Bertha will actually step in. She'll sell a little bit of token to help meet that, but it'll replenish the buffer pool. And when you look at this write-up from Mike Dre, look at this. The BUSD buffer pool has covered out more than 40% of all future claims since inception of this contract, right? We don't have to get into all these numbers here, but pay attention to this last line. Bertha has only paid out $1.14 million from her bag, while the buffer pool for BUSD covered $860,000. Remember, that buffer pool is not an indicator of doom and gloom for futures because it's going down. No, it's just an insulation. It's insulation for Bertha is what it is. It just handles some of the daily stuff. But the fact that it's covered more than 40% of all future claims to date, that's very healthy. That's extremely healthy for this ecosystem. And it's all about that steady return. Where else in a bear market are you going to find steady cash flow, like Crypto Kingdom's saying? Like, you can just maybe in a month's time do 20 days worth of compound, and 10 days worth of claim. As long as you're compounding more than you're claiming out, your balance will overall grow over time. And I think that cash flow is what's really attractive to people. And, I'm in the back channels looking at the hard work the other volunteers are putting in, but we're trying to simplify this message, guys. Futures is the truth. This is one of the main engines that drives Elephant as a protocol. And, just like you said, Crypto Kingdom, some people just don't get it until we simplify it. And we're going to make this simple, right? It's, people just need to understand the mechanics of Bertha and why she keeps it solvent and what happens here. And even to focus a little bit on that $200, don't forget, folks, what that $200 actually does for Bertha, okay? Shout out to Bailey EMH, but he gave me a version of this Bertha.money multiplier, okay? And I'm going to show you what happens when $200 comes into futures to buy back Elephant token and lift the price, all right? So look, at this time of math, we're sitting at, 38 cents per million. So this orange number right here, 0.385799. This is the current price at this math, and then $200 comes in. And then what does that do? It incrementally lifts that price from 0.385799 to 0.385807. The 799 turned to 807. That little bit of price appreciation that comes in gets spread out across Bertha's token count. Okay? And when you spread that price appreciation out across all those tokens, that $200 for Bertha grew her bag $1,500. Look at that. This is currently, guys, this is a 7.8 X multiplier that's happening. This multiplicative effect is what keeps futures solvent, no matter how you slice it. Okay? So this is the same thing as Elon Musk and his whale economics. He has 455 million shares of Tesla. And if the Tesla price goes up $2, Elon Musk's portfolio goes up $1 billion. That is whale economics. That is what Bertha is to this system. Okay? And so this very same multiplicative effect, this is the math behind all of it, right? Just follow the orange that I laid out here. But this is all captured on a chart from EMH right here. The bigger that Bertha gets over time, and right now we know she's hovering right here in this zone. She's at 180 trillion tokens. What happens when she's 200 and 225 trillion? That multiplicative effect I just mentioned, we're right now sitting at a 7.8 multiplier. Okay? Actually, we need an updated version of this, but the bigger she gets, the more her multiplicative factor gets too. So here's another fun fact for your crypto kingdom. Think of in the future, man. One day, somebody's going along, they're doing their futures thing. They build their TVL for 3 years and they get all the way up to a $1 million bag. Matter of fact, let's just say they completely maxed out. They pulled out 2.5 million BUSD cash. Okay. Well, there are going to be some changes. Actually, it's going to be BNB coin in and out, but it's going to be based on cash value. But I digress. But in the future, maxed out 2.5 million this person took out, and now they want to start a brand new futures account. This is what happens. Okay, they've probably all in all profited out 1.5 million or 1.2 million dollars, whatever it is, right? And all in all, they only put in 100K or whatever, and they just leveraged time on their side. They compounded it. But anyway, $1.2 million in profits. Now they want to go ahead and start a brand new futures account, and they're going to plop in $250,000 into a brand new futures account. And think about that. You're going to plop in $250,000 on a brand new futures account, and Bertha at that time, I don't know, is going to be 250 trillion tokens 3 years in the future, whatever. At that time, she's at a 14.4x multiplier. So what happens when somebody comes in with $250,000? Okay? Remember, 90% of that is going to go to the BUSD Treasury for buybacks on the Elephant token. So now $225 times at that future, let's just assume 14.4x, 14.4, that's $3.2 million that Bertha just turned that Elephant token purchase into. Run that back. $225,000 came into Bertha's wallet. She then has that multiplicative whale economic effect on it, and her bag goes up $3.2 million. Okay? That's something that people need to let sink in, and why this engineered math and tokenomics is unlike anything you have ever seen in crypto, because it doesn't exist. It's just using real life principles like Elon Musk's example for this protocol. Nothing else works like this. And this is incredible, right? And that's when Bertha's getting bigger. What happens when she's 280 trillion, right? All of this will scale up as the protocol grows. After we hit some sort of viral phase, right? Before the bull market. We're already outperforming everything in a bear market. Pretty soon this will catch on, and people will jump into futures, into NFTs, all of that. It's going to be crazy. So I don't know if we reviewed that math before, Crypto Kingdom, but that multiplicative effect, brother, that's the sauce to futures, and why this is solvent 9 months in, whereas any other fork of bankroll flow has all died. And they have already proven to be insolvent Futures is the first one to actually crack that code. That's amazing. This protocol right here is making 0.5% a day sexy. No other protocol can claim that. What are your thoughts, Crypt?
No, you got that right. Yeah, we looked at that probably privately before just to see how much the $200 comes in and then changes, 7x, I guess it is, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, other projects, even though I've owned thousands of different, probably thousands exactly at this point of different projects, not a lot of projects, which is nice with Elephant, offer this many graphs to make it simple for, even a first-time buyer or investor who comes from maybe even stocks. Like, this is pretty easy to figure out stuff. Like, people under 18 could figure these graphs out. Like, it's nice to have all these graphs, and then that helps the project overall, I think. Just having all this information, doing these AMAs, even if people are shy and don't ask a lot of questions, that's fine. As long as they're learning as we go, that's all that we're trying to accomplish here. We're just trying to make the project better. I'm trying to get videos on YouTube. I mean, my videos get 7,000. Some of them blow up to 50,000 hits, 60,000 hits. So, I mean, we're just trying to bring more people into the project because whether you believe it or not, bear market or not, the thing that I'm mostly excited about is how many few users there are into the futures itself. Like, there's not that many people into futures. Like, if you figure how many overall
can you
people
imagine?
are into meme coins, like, it's just think about how many people are in meme coins right now. What, 10, 15, 40 million holders probably? By the time you add up all like Shiba Inus and Flokis and then all the shitty ones that come using their names as well, there's millions and millions and millions of holders in those. And we're talking about 2,700 people. That's not even like a village. It's very, very, very small. So just imagine, that's why I don't think my $1 billion TVL is very far off. And I don't think it's far off at all. Like, I actually could be on the low side because I never put a deadline on it, right? All I'm saying is it's going to hit $1 billion before there's any non-growth. I think it's going to take a long time I don't even know if it could ever happen where the TVL just won't grow even a plus $1 for the day. Because there'd have to be a lot of people claiming that particular day and not a lot of people putting money in. And compared to every other project, as we've talked about privately, I don't know where the money would be going because most projects are just garbage. I mean,
yes. Thank you. I want to know where like all of this holy grail project exists at outside of Elephant.money. Like, where are people taking their profits realistically? Somebody DM me, and I hope it doesn't look like 99% of the DMs I get because all these projects people try to introduce to me are trash. Trash. Every single one of them. I'd rather just keep my funds here in Elephant.money. Nothing has proven to be better than this, especially when the community rose together. Exactly like you said, man. Only 2.6 thousand participants right now. What happens when this actually grows at scale? See, what people don't realize is that Elephant.money as an overall protocol is highly scalable, right? With that multiplicative effect alone, it's all about value capture on the in and out tax, the fee of the token, the deposits of futures, and the minting of NFTs. That value capture is, oh man, that economic spear, that energy that goes into Bertha from all and any incoming revenue is immense. And when people actually sit down, do their research, see that this protocol is over 2.5 years old, and the Lindy effect kicks in, which means the longer that we survive, the probability increases that we continue to survive. Futures isn't going anywhere, right? And when this 2.6 thousand people becomes 10,000 people, 50,000 people, that economic energy getting channeled into this BUSD Treasury, which does nothing but buy back Elephant token for Bertha, and then she gets bigger. We know what happens when she gets bigger. Her value gets larger. When her token count goes up, her dollar value goes up exponentially. This is really going to come kick people in the mouth when they really see how this works. And we're already doing this on a solvent platform of futures, 9 months in, off of 2,500 people. get real. What happens, man, when this really scales up, that's going to be crazy. Because you can look at any of those other dead forks of bankroll flow, and those are not scalable. You can come in with $10 million, and that is chum in the water. Everybody's just going to claim and sell that value back to nothing, right? Whereas with Bertha, you want to give her $10 million. Okay, she's going to thank you because she takes $10 million and puts it under a 7.8x stranglehold, multiplies that value. Okay, what is that? $78 million basically that comes in. And then she just holds it down and she locks it tight. She hodls it and only sells what little tokens she has to. So futures overall is highly, highly solvent, incredible. We just need to simplify the message for the masses so people really get behind this. Because this works in bear and bull cycles. We're in a bear market right now, folks, and this has already been solvent for the last 9 months. Do your research. This is the truth. Okay.
Also, too, there's a nice little fun fact in the Dune somewhere in there. I just can't remember where it is off the top of my head, but I believe that there's a chart or a column that will tell you what the average TVL is for each individual, we'll say wallet or user. But there's if you wanted to look ahead and say, geez, I wonder how much TVL there's going to be, is this guy crazy at Crypto Kingdom or is he right? You just take that average TVL and then multiply it by, let's say, 10,000 users. And then you can kind of figure out, okay, that's where we're heading. But I believe it's in there somewhere, like what the average TVL size is per wallet address.
I think it's
someone's holding. I saw
I see this one ticker
where.
right here. I mean, I see the average deposit overall is $742.
Or maybe I figured it out. I think I figured it out maybe manually because if you want to figure out the average, you just take the total TVL, divide by the users. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Because some are big, some are small, but we're just looking for the average. Because you're going to say, one guy's got 500 grand, one guy's got 300 grand. No, just take the total amount of users or the total amount of TVL, divide by the users, you'll get that number. And then take that number, times it by 10,000 users, 20,000 users. Then you'll see, okay, holy shit, this TVL is really going to grow, And then what if the market conditions are good? Or let's just say the market conditions just stayed like this forever. What's wrong with that? Just, this is obviously people want to make money quick, but I'm saying for the future side of things, what's wrong with the way we've been growing in futures? Nothing wrong with it. You're still getting your 0.5%. It's like, there's nothing wrong with the way we're growing. And this is like rock bottom growing. Like this is bear market growing. Like it really couldn't get, knock on wood, it really couldn't get much slower than what it's been in the last year and a half, 2 years or whatever it's lasted, Yeah. So, anyways, I think that's what I did. So if anybody wants to do the same, just take that TVL 21.6 or whatever we're at million or whatever, round it up. Doesn't really matter. Divide by the users. You'll figure out what the average TVL wallet is holding. Multiply that by 10,000 users. And right off the bat, we'll be at around $106 million. I can do math in my head, or $90 million, whatever, 100, whatever, somewhere in that range, just depending on how you do it. But 25 times 4, 10,000 users, 21, 22 times 4, 88, 90 million, I guess, in this case. But that's just based on user growth, nothing else. And I'm not saying we're growing any faster. That's just how many users we have. There's no point in somebody pulling out of this because you're actually making more money by holding on to your TVL, whether you believe it or not. So, because there's no panic at that 21, 22, and that just keeps growing and growing and growing. So as long as that TVL keeps growing, there's no need for anybody to be in any sort of panic mode whatsoever. And it's like the first time in my life in crypto where my heart rate is slowed down, because I got a lot of money. I can lose a lot of money in one night, and it's happened. I've made a lot in one night. I made a lot in 1 week, and then I've lost a lot in 1 week too. And the overall thing is I stay up, but it's kind of most people would have a heart attack and die if their wallets went down as much as mine did in the bear market. So obviously, the more you had, the diamond hands didn't really pay off in the bear market, where you refuse to sell when you're up because you're greedy like me, and then you really pay the price, and I'm forced to hold. I haven't lost anything because I didn't make a sell at a loss. So I guess that's where a lot of people get confused. My balance is lower on the screen, but if I'm in no need for the money, I'm not going to sell for a loss when all I have to do is wait. It's just time. I wish it would happen faster like everybody else. But at the end of the day, that's the way it goes right now. Eventually we'll pop out of this. And I think the longer we stay down, the more it's going to pump on the next run and the longer it's going to go for. And that's what I truly believe. I truly believe the more we suffer right now, I think the greater return we're going to get and the longer return in the long run once this happens again. So I don't think anybody's seen anything yet. Let the people sell at 400 million, let them sell. I mean, they obviously don't understand it, but we have to have some cells to grow nicely. If we grow too fast, we'll just have green and then red and then green and red, like up, down, up, down. We really don't want that. So some people will never get it. Let them sell. A lot of the cells going through, if you look at the chart, they're all in between like $100 and $2,000. There's nothing substantial being sold, like if you look. So I'm not too worried about the cells and that little line going downwards. We've actually started to come back up. And we've at least leveled off, and we're starting to come back up. Even at 0.5% a day, that's a safe percent. Like 0.5 to 1% a day is perfectly fine. It's very safe. You don't have to worry about crazy profits people making in a day, like a meme where it goes up 1700x and then it goes down 1700x. It's not going to happen here. So it's actually, there's nothing wrong with this right now. And like you said, it's all in the bear market. So yeah, that's where we stand. And then I guess what we're kind of missing in those graphs, just to give people an idea, because this is something that I've been trying to get into, the unlimited NFTs, where we stand now compared to, futures, what it's paying out compared to futures, compared to what these NFTs are going to happen round by round. Not only are they going to double in price, you're just going to start making more and more and more. So they're definitely something to look at. Maybe eventually we can have a graph or a pie chart that includes the unlimited NFTs in there with the token and the futures, just to tell the average person, should you be 33.3 into each, or where should we stand on that? Because I know you have a lot of the NFTs yourself, so you can explain this best with the NFTs.
Yeah, I'll jump right into that after 1 second. So I recently did an AMA with my friend Yabanks, and oh man, dude, he really did his research, probably like over 50 hours worth of stuff, and then him and I just going back and forth on video calls and stuff offline, over 10 hours worth of that. Like that man really knows his stuff. And some of the things looking at the chart even was very, very impressive for him. Like he knew, about this RSI indicator and how, these recent months that we've been trading, or basically we've been overbought on the Elephant token for quite some time before, a sell-off was expected, really. And, he looks at this as a huge opportunity just for the token itself. But, I think he's going to diversify into futures and farms and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, this is textbook a beautiful chart. And even going back to something that Mike Dre was telling me, but back when this chart was way back here and we were just crabbing sideways, all right, this first little tiny bump of a run up that we had, that was over a 1,000% run up, okay, before we peeled back a little bit. And then from there, we did yet another 900% rally, from that all-time top, but 900% gain. And then we had the Black Swan event of the flash loan attack. And then for the last year and a half, this was yet another 1,200% run up. So you have a 1,000, a 900, and a 1,200% run up where we've deepened liquidity along the way, survived battle tests like a Black Swan flash loan, and yet we're still standing. What you tell me another DeFi protocol that has survived and performed 3 separate 900 plus run ups and is still growing and thriving? I'll wait. Like Mike Dre is like, I'll wait. You can't name one. It doesn't exist, right? What? And if this is the first 3 waves of this token, what happens on wave 4 and 5? Another 900% run up, maybe more. That's the crazy part, man. So breaking some of that down with Yabanks, he was really, really excited about, you know, the trajectory of what this means, even for BNB, and he's a BNB maxi. But anyway, let's jump over to, you had mentioned the NFTs, man. Like, so these are great. These are great. We're in round 2. A brief rundown is there are rounds of 10,000 mints per round. And once you clear 10,000 mints, the next round starts and the price doubles. Okay. So this mint price started at 1 BNB for those first 10,000. We cleared that. Now we're on round 2. And with my 58 NFTs right here, BNB price wise, they are valued at 25,000 right here. You'll see. Okay. And whenever we enter round 3 and this 2 BNB mint price doubles to 4 BNB, well, guess what happens to my floor price of my NFTs? They also double. Right? This becomes 50K. And then when we enter the next round after that, it then doubles from 50K to 100K. Right? And there's a nice built-in marketplace to cover all of that. But, you know, this is a huge and easy to follow value proposition. We know that Bertha goes up. Okay. Bertha is designed to always increase in token count. Okay. And she's paying out a nice, reasonable 1% APR out of her bag that goes into the NFT staking pool. That 1% is then divided by the amount of actual NFTs staked. So each of those NFTs is earning a certain APR. Now, this is where it gets interesting. There will come a time where the NFTs are just so overpriced. Like right now, people are, you know, thinking 2 BNB is a lot, guys. This is so early. What happens when this goes from 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32, 32 to 64? Let's say we're at 64 BNB mint price for one NFT, right? And those sales are going to slow down. That means the amount of staked NFTs is going to stagnate. You know what doesn't stagnate? Bertha's 1% APR. That thing just keeps on trucking, okay? And all the meanwhile, Bertha's supply shocking that price on an overall upward trend. That elephant token price is going to keep going up. So that APR right here is going to keep going up, right? So you're going to see these cycles of the NFT mints where, you know, at the beginning of a round, it slows down. Towards the end of a round, it FOMOs up, right? As the FOMO up goes that direction, the APR goes down because we're dividing it out, and then the APR goes back up. It's just a whole cyclical event, all right? And eventually, though, you're going to imagine that you're holding these NFTs to stake, you're earning Elephant Money reward, and this APR overall is going to keep going up. Can you imagine if it's above 80%, 100%? And you're earning that in Elephant token, which is also an appreciating asset. These are crazy. Like, and you can ask BT one of these days, but he will tell you that having those NFTs right now is as if you're buying Elephant token when it first existed for 6 months, was crabbing along sideways, and nobody knew why the hell they were holding the Elephant token. For 6 months, people are like, man, what am I doing with this? It's not doing anything. It's not going up until it did. And then next thing you knew, they couldn't buy enough Elephant token, and they regretted not buying more at that time. The NFTs are going to work the exact same way. You're buying these NFTs and you're complaining like, oh man, I'm only earning like 50% a day. Like, what is this? Like, shut up. Wait until that value kicks you in the mouth. It's coming. It's the same exact thing I witnessed on the Elephant token. Telling you from an OG perspective, it's already happened. That's what's going to happen again. People don't like to heed my words until it's too late. But that's what the NFTs are. That's how early everybody actually is. They just don't see it yet. But we'll get the messaging out there. People will start to pick up on it. But these are incredible if you believe in Bertha's growth and you believe in the Elephant token's overall upward trajectory. So any questions on the NFTs?
Yeah, I got one. 1.8 is the marketplace price. Does that automatically become 3.6 at 4?
Yes,
Like,
it will always
Yeah.
be a 10% discount on the current round's mint price. Yes, 10% discount.
And another question I get is they seem to have different rarity levels. Does the rarity and the different colored NFTs mean anything? Like some of them are orange or black, like green. Like I was a little bit.
Right.
I just haven't spent a lot of time in the futures every day. So I mean, I know NFTs because I own NFTs, but I mean, every NFT is different than that project before. So
Yeah. I think in the future this will come more into play. Right now, it's just a very simplistic rarity. You've got all the colors, and then you've got black. And
right.
the Black Series NFTs have a 6% chance upon mint of actually landing you one. And the only perk it gives you, right, all the NFTs earn the exact same amount when you stake them. But the black one will get you into future Elephant Money conventions free of charge. So that is one perk that we know about today. Maybe more can come down the line. I don't know. But that's just how it is right now. People are just chasing black, right? Or chasing their favorite colors if they love red or yellow onlys and they sell their blues or whatever. But there is a rarity score, and that's what you're asking about. And these just are relative against how many of these other colors are in the hands of another user. So these rarities, they don't play a factor in the current marketplace as it stands. However, people can still sell these over the counter, and people, diehards that are really into NFTs can find a way of chasing down their most rarest of attribute NFTs of their favorite color. So yeah, I think this will play a more in-depth role down the line, but right now I don't really see any chatter going on about, hey, I have a 0.25 rarity, I'm looking for a 0.9. You don't really see that. At least not yet. Probably not until the future when we scale up in user count.
Well, at least it's nice that it's there already. So if he wants to do something with it in the future, those percentage or rarity rates or whatever you want to call it are there. Because, normal NFTs, it's like, oh, I just got a ultra rare, so it's worth more automatically. You know what I mean? Most of them don't serve a purpose other than the fact that you got to resell it and hope to God somebody buys it for more. So, it's like that's how normal NFTs work for the most part. Can get lucky, but yeah. So it's something that I should, at 2BNB a shot. What's 2BNB these days? $430.
Yeah.
Based on my whole portfolio, I should have 50 of the damn things. Just haven't got around to it yet. But obviously, if I'm going to do it, you're going to make money three ways here holding these NFTs. Because not only are you getting the elephant token that's going to go up, these NFTs are doubling every round. So even if you wanted to put them on the marketplace, they're going to fly off the shelves at 3.6 BNB. So even if you just wait for the next round, you're going to double your BNB. And it's pretty much a guarantee because how fast they're selling in the marketplace, I haven't even been able to catch one yet. I mean, I see them get listed and then I can't click quick enough or something. I don't know.
Yeah. No, you can't. You got people watching this like a hawk. Like they never stay listed for long enough. And, a number of the people, I don't know why they're selling in round 2, to be honest with you. But like if you bought in round 1, gosh, you really want to wait until round 3 or 4. Like that's when you're really making some quick money.
Oh, you can make a quick $100,000 if you just go from 1 to 3. If you had like a decent number of one BNB had 15 or 20. And then you go, just to wait to round 3. Holy, that's some pretty good money there for and you're getting the token on top of that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Let me, I forgot to mention that too. So yeah, it's a 10% discount on the current mint price, but also on top of this 1.8 BNB you're looking at, the seller, okay, also has to factor in, there is a 30% royalty that goes to Bertha. So even the marketplace built in feeds Bertha, but somebody who bought a round 1 NFT for 1 BNB, they're not going to get 1.8 BNB because there's another 30% off this that comes off. So they actually only make 1.26 on the sale. 1.26 BNB is what they will get if they bought it in round 1. So that's why you really want to wait for future rounds, like you said. Because you want to factor in the 10% discount plus another 30% royalty to Bertha and add up all of the elephant token you're earning in between rounds, right? It could take a year between round 2 and round 3, right? But that's a year's worth of elephant token that you're also gaining. So until you can flip it in the next round. So there's a lot of game theory behind this, but yeah, really cool no matter how you slice it.
Yeah, you got to hold the hold the NFT until you really like. Don't sell it unless you really need the money. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, that's what I would do. I'd hold it as long as I could. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
I wouldn't sell
yeah.
I wouldn't sell one to get groceries. Let's put it that way. I'd starve to death before I did that. So
Yeah, no,
I'm pretty
you
stubborn like
understand.
that. I mean, it's just common sense. Like, I'm kind of surprised people are putting them into the marketplace. But hey, if you can pick one up for 1.8, somebody else's loss is somebody else's gain. So nothing wrong
Yeah,
with that.
and that's kind of the good thing about it being liquid too. Like if you did get into a bind, Crypto Kingdom, and you needed to sell NFTs, it is kind of nice knowing that you could put it on a marketplace that just sells it like hotcakes. And now it's not like you're listing it on OpenSea and then like hoping to, goodness somebody actually comes along. This one, within a day, it's getting snapped up. Like it's kind of nice knowing that. But I
In
see
5 seconds.
a lot more people.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Any questions from the audience?
They just like
Yeah,
listening to us. We're so much fun. Well, you
I
are.
guess so.
I'm
Nah,
usually
nah. You
usually
are
the
too.
same
Hey.
level. Yeah, sometimes I just got to know my stuff because I put my name out there with thousands of videos. So who are they going to blame first when the project fails? Me. So I got to be on my game numbers wise. Now, when you display, is it my NFTs? Where's the display? Like you can see them all displayed out like a deck of cards. Was it? I haven't
You
bought
go
one
down
yet,
to.
so I never saw how it displays.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, you should maybe do a live mint
I've
on
been
a
trying to get
future
around to it.
recorded video.
I've been trying to
Yeah.
get I just wanted to get the futures to 200 grand as quick as possible. So I've been literally
Oh, there
selling
you go.
tokens every day. I spend an hour researching, thinking, okay, am I going to, some other projects I have to hold because, I promote them and I do like other projects. But I'm finding out these days a lot of the projects people don't want to get involved in because there's just too much going on. Like we've got other things I'm not going to mention, but play to earn gaming and stuff like that. Some people just want to make money. This is the
Yeah.
easiest one. If you just want to make money and learn it, I can't sit on here and play video games all day, even though I'm into some projects and I'm up like, hundreds of X's on some, like with games, which is great. Except I can't get onto the game side, so I don't learn as quickly. That's why I like this, even for newbies or whatever you want to call them. This is pretty straightforward. And with the AMAs that we do, we try to make everything as easy as possible to reduce the amount of questions going through a chat because there's just some questions it's a lot easier to talk about than type. But
Yeah. No, no, I hear you. So whenever that time does come and that you mint your very first NFT, you'll just need to make sure you hold 2 BNB in the wallet. And then the moment you come hit mint, it'll just approve and you'll buy it. Okay. And when that happens, you'll come down to your collection and you'll see 2 buttons. When you buy it, it's just sitting in your wallet. You'll see this wallet will say number 1. And you can click it and look at it like a deck of cards, and then you can stake it from there. And whenever you stake it, it moves it from your wallet into the actual staked category here. And then that's how I click on mine. You see, when I click staked, I can then flip through all of mine. I had the option to unstake all of them. I can click on the details if I wanted, more detail. But yeah, you can flip through whatever here. Pretty cool.
now, when we hit the next round, let's say round 3, does the payout of the elephant token remain the same?
Yeah, nothing changes. So the moment that round 3 occurs, the only thing on your dashboard that you're going to see change instantly is your staked value. Like this, my
Right.
25,000 will
Doubled.
instantly
Yeah,
double.
doubled. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
But
payout
then
remains
everything
the
else stays
same
the
as for,
same.
yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And then I remember there's 2 things I had to activate already. I mean, it's like 4 cents or 8 cents or whatever it was. I think you had to activate the marketplace and activate staking, maybe, is it? Or enable it, I should say.
Yeah, you
In the
just got to
NFTs.
enable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enable the marketplace and also just the minting of the NFT, I think.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if anybody's
Yeah.
got any questions or tell SK Crypto what a great job he does doing these. Put your hand
Oh,
up.
I appreciate it, man. It's been a minute since I've done some AMAs. This last week, though, It's been pretty cool. It came at a good time. Not only did we handle Yabonks, but we also spoke to the owner of Crypto Magazine, something that you were actually featured in. Remember that? And had some really good talks with him, actually. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, he's got to put good projects in there, like stable projects. I mean, regardless of what they are, they can't be, they have to have value and they have to have, obviously, if someone's going to the magazine, they've got marketing budget. A lot of these ones don't have, enough money for a page in that magazine. So it's nice to see them in there. You almost can take a project serious in Crypto Magazine just because the rate it is to get on a full page in there. I was lucky enough to be on 5 pages, so.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I clicked on details for the NFT and it just takes you to a separate NFT scan site and you can look at
Right.
some more detail of it. Like your Rarity, I'm in round 2 and 13% of people have the same trait as I do on this card. So pretty neat. Pretty neat little stuff.
So
but
yes, I would
through.
suggest to anybody to try to at least get 4 or 5 of these. It was my suggestion. I mean, I know some people just don't have the money, but at least if you don't have the money, at least get like what you can. Like let's put it that way. But like you said, once it goes to round 2, the 2 B&B becomes 4. And then we got to factor in, I believe, the B&B because this is by B&B, right?
Yeah, what happens when B&B does a 5x?
The value, we haven't factored in the value of B&B in this scenario either. So if B&B triples, what does that mean for your 58? Like it's
right.
I know what it means, but that's just a whole other number. And these numbers are actually true because I've had a token before that, if I told everybody, when I bought it, hey, this token, which I didn't know at the time, of course, but I have a video on that particular token, a gaming token that I mentioned before, like 3 years ago. At 3,770x, and it was a token, but it's got a game. But I mean, these numbers can be true. So some of these numbers look like, oh, that's impossible to some people, because if you come from the stock world like I did, not a lot of things 3,070x and stuff like the crypto numbers go crazy. But here we had a real good opportunity. And, like I said before, whether people believe it or not, with this particular project, you are early. You are very early. And how I determine that is because the number of users. Okay, people are still buying into Shiba Inu with 1.5 million users or wallets. I mean, just the futures here. I don't know if it says how many what's our grand total of NFTs minted, or where are we on round 2?
Right now, there's only been 1,490 of round 2 minted. Anything above 10,000 is round 2 now.
So we have 80? So it's 10 around, so 8,600 left.
Yeah.
Okay. So that just goes to show people, if you're interested in a round 2 NFT, again, there's 8,600 left, so you don't have to say, okay, I got to put my money away next week. They're going to be here for a little bit, and you can follow that. I mean, we're going to be, I don't know how long they're actually going to sit for, because obviously when the market gets better, if we were selling 20 a day, we'll sell 40 a day type of thing. So
I think it'll pick up once the APR kind of goes up. And there's a whole Dune analytic on the NFTs, but even on this left chart you're looking at, you can see it launched a hair above 50% on the APR. And then as the FOMO kind of really kicked in on round 1 sales, remember, every time someone mints an NFT and they stake it, you're dividing that 1% APR out across the people. So that's why you see the APR on this line drop. Okay. The FOMO really kicked in right here, that steep drop. And then we had a cool off period, right? We're still in round 2, but the cool off period, we bottomed out at, 22% APR. And then as Bertha really started to climb still, even with the price, that got really good until the recent, sell event, the redistribution that happened. But you're always going to see over time, this Dune analytics going to look amazing over the next year, but you're going to see these repeated cycles, the FOMO dropping the APR and then Bertha climbing the APR back up and then FOMO kicking in round 2 into round 3. And it's just going to keep cycling up and down. But this APR is going to be very dynamic, but very cool to watch over time.
I think a lot of people too just don't They just haven't looked at the NFTs. They're just so used to, like I said before, typical NFTs that really serve no purpose. Your NFT value is going to end up to be pure profit when you consider the fact that you've earned the tokens the whole time. I would consider how many NFTs you have in the end is pure profit in the bottom left there, because the tokens, given the months down the road, they're actually going to cover what you paid for those NFTs and more. So you can imagine a couple rounds down the road and it says 180 grand or 200. That's literally going to be all profit because you're going to make that in elephant tokens anyway. So
you really are. Like the amount of money that you make in between rounds is going to be astronomical. And what's really cool too, even about the marketplace. Oh man, is my wallet going to give me issues again? But the marketplace is completely independent. So whenever sales are happening, right, that doesn't impact liquidity of the price of elephant token, other than just 30% of resale proceeds go into buybacks of the elephant token. So it's nothing but a positive effect that happens whenever people resell on the built-in marketplace. But then also, going back to that point about in between rounds. So far, I haven't claimed out these 450 million rewards, but if I did, it would stack on top of the 1.5 billion that I've already made. And, if I add that up, that's nearly $800 in dollar value that I've made as a reward. But, and that doesn't meet the amount that I put in. I've probably put in over 10 grand, right? But I'm waiting for the elephant token to go up because I believe in it. So whenever this $800 10x's alongside the elephant token, well, that's $8,000, right? And not to mention the continued elephant money rewards I'm getting on a daily basis anyway. So yeah, really cool stuff there. I think also when people really realize, what the NFT minting does as a 100% buyback on the elephant token, it's just incredible. It's a business practice that is amazing, right? You can just look at the NFTs and their relation to Bertha, the Treasury. Then you look at the people buying the elephant token and just holding it, right? Two separate things are happening right there. But when you couple those two things together alone and the buybacks that are happening in the middle, that's a business. BT said this. That is a two-sided marketplace for a business. That's not a Ponzi. You can have two different sets of stakeholders with two different separate sets of goals working on a two-sided marketplace against each other. And then everything else on top of that, gravy, it is just gravy, right? When it comes to futures and Stampede and the farms, it's just amazing how everything works in tandem with each other. 90% of futures deposits, buybacks the elephant token. 100% of NFT mints, buybacks the elephant token. Everything's pointed at Bertha getting larger so that, this overall price can continue its upward trajectory.
Yeah, and if ready for the next NFT or next AMA, we could, when they're ready on their end to discuss, we'll get into the trunk and stuff at a later time. But, because these, to explain everything properly here, I want to keep it within an hour, but we really can't because there's so much detail that goes into these. And then every time actually we have one and I just look at it myself, I kind of learn another number that makes it even more exciting that I kind of forgot about before. So I think you can just keep learning and learning as we, every time we have one of these, whether you think you're not, you know it all, you find a little thing there that you just didn't know about. That's what's nice. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot this. I mean, unless you write it all out and make your own charts on your own piece of paper. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, but what if this? What if that? There's a lot of, they're not really what ifs because, I mean, eventually BNB is going to be at a certain price that it's not at today. So these are actually more like when if, or when is it going to happen, That's all it is. It's just a time thing more than anything. But if anybody's got any questions overall, put your hand up or do whatever you like. Then I'll pick you or just talk in general about the project or why you like it or anything like that. If not, we'll wrap it up, get it up on YouTube and get it out to, 7 or 8,000, I think, saw the last one. So I can tell, too, because I used one of my wallet links, too. So I started, I could see some of the referral action coming through. So And I knew it was new action from YouTube. It wasn't existing people. Because I only put it, what I like to do is I put different links in different places so I can kind of figure out where things are coming from. If it's new or is it somebody in the past that I know, just because I can't remember everybody's wallet number or address. So we're looking good anyways. I just wanted to, I like to keep things fresh and on everybody's mind so everybody remains excited because there's not really much else to be excited about in the world. So it's like,
definitely not in this bear market, man. And I think that's what's really cool. Like, a lot of familiar faces are here in this chat with us today, but that's the importance of this education piece. Like the more we go through this, and every single time it's kind of like rewatching a movie, right? There should be something you picked up on this time you didn't get the first time. And I think that's what happens here. And it just does nothing but help people understand it further and also teach their loved ones about this, right? Like, don't be that person a year from today when your auntie or your uncle are like, well, damn, why didn't you tell me about this a year ago? You've been holding out on me? Blah, blah. Like, don't be in that situation. Like, if you love someone and you want to change their life, you need to teach them about this, in my humble opinion.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've had people DM me, oh, you should have told me about this a month ago. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. I'm showing, because most of the time now, I'm trying to stay away from like market cap projects, let people do their own research on that. So I'm showing people the futures because it's like, it's the low risk play. Whether you like the token or not, we all believe it's going to go up, which it probably will, 99% sure. The low risk play is the futures. So when and then people are saying, hey, you should have told me about hey, you're not late. There's 2,700 people in there. So, that's why you got to do your own research. You got to spend you don't even have to spend that much time, honestly. A couple hours in an Elephant, you'll pretty much know the whole system inside and out, depending on how fast you pick things up. But really aggressive, I think, would be like 33.3 of each, all three of these top three things here that we have to offer. I mean, I think if you had 33% of the NFTs, that's pretty aggressive too, because just the round price doubling and the tokens that you're getting at the same price, I truly believe that the NFT price itself is going to be pure profit in the end by the time you collect the token. So,
yeah. No, definitely, man.
I think if you can spread out, like if you had 15 grand, it might be smart to go 5 grand of each, That's my personal opinion.
It would be, man. Yeah, it's when it comes to futures and NFTs, it's more or less delayed gratification, right? Like if you pop that all into Elephant token and it goes up 1% a day, of course you're going to feel great until you get shaken out because it's still going to be volatile. So if you want that nice delayed gratification, that's really going to reward you in the future, in the long run. Man, you can't really go wrong with a 33% allocation of each, right? If you have $100,000 and you put 33K into futures and NFTs and the token, yeah, you're going to be set. You have to look at everything at Elephant.money with a 2 to 5 year lens, right? This is you're incredibly early on something that's going to just really change the financial landscape.
But you could also take out money too. I mean, as you're holding the NFTs, you're not just trapped because you got the elephant coming in. And if you're desperate for a few $100 or $500 or you need grocery, whatever you need, card payment, money, whatever, you can sell those elephant tokens and don't be shy too. Like if you need it, you need it. You can sell here. Like it's not fun.
Exactly. There's no sell shaming, man. Yeah, it's amazing. Like we have the liquidity. It can handle it. If you have a $5,000, car payment, well, I mean, that's actually really high. But if you do, go ahead and sell. Pay that off. Get that bread. I'm happy for you. And Bertha's happy because you gave her a cut. So that's the amazing thing about the protocol. Like, look at it with a 2 to 5 year outreach. Have a plan in place on how you're going to profit take along the journey. This isn't something that you just plop funds in and then you completely eradicate your position for a Lambo. Why would you do that? If you have no more skin in the game, you have nothing else that's going to go up, and we're just going to be waving at you as the train, goes by. Like, come on, like be strategic, have a plan, and take your profits, responsibly. So.
Yeah, you said that right. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks to everybody that came in. It's actually kind of cool that there's no questions too. That means probably people are understanding and getting everything. So I'll put this up on YouTube, share and like the video. We'll try to get it pinned up, at least for a while, just because the more likes helps the, obviously if you came in here, you don't need to watch the whole damn thing again. That doesn't matter for YouTube algorithm. It's simply the likes. The likes move us up in the search results. So the last one got about 150, 160. So hopefully we can do that again. So yeah, thanks SK Crypto for coming in. He explains it better than anybody else, at least for me. And thanks to everybody else that's in here and contributed to this project. Looking good overall. Contribute to, contribute. I'm trying to look for the word. Can't even say it right now. I'm half sleeping. It's a long day. But anyways, contribution to this project helps everybody else in the long run. And it helps grow it. Because like I said, 99.9% of the people still don't know it exists. And you can just tell that by the holder amount. Is very, very small, even in the token itself. It's still very small considering where we're at today. Looks huge and impressive, but it's really probably not even 1% of the way there yet, realistically, numbers wise. So yeah, again, thanks for everybody coming out. CryptoKingdom78 on YouTube, easy to find. Lots of how-to videos on there. I have a whole how-to section if you're new to crypto and you just want to see how you move, BNB to BUSD or BEP2, BEP20. I have lots of videos on that. If you want to read about me personally and the utility that I've built, I haven't got around to launching it yet, of course, because I'm just too busy. I am in Crypto Magazine, issue 8, 5 pages. I got invited in. So some people like me, some people don't, but I'm the real deal when it comes to crypto. This is what I do 24/7. There's always something out there that I'm missing, but this is why I do it. I don't pretend that I know everything. If I did, I wouldn't do these. I'm trying to learn just as much as what I already know because every day I'm still learning. And that's it. So everybody have a good, safe night, Sunday night. Hopefully we start the week on the right page. And we'll see everybody in the next one before Christmas. And we'll try to incorporate some more stuff. So again, thanks for everybody coming in. And I will put this on YouTube. Thanks to SK Crypto again. And everybody have a great night. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
You too.